Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Friday, August the 26th. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let's rejoice and be glad in it. For those of you that are coming on live, here's what I need you to do. I need you to hit that like button. I need you to hit that share button. And I need you to tag Lolly, Dolly, everybody. And let them know your boy, Ramonepreston, my squad, and the Ramonepreston Show. We are here live in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. I want to welcome you to the Ramonepreston Show. Here's what I need you to do. Hit the like button, hit the share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody if you're on a platform that you can tag, and put in the comments what city you're watching me from. So please put in the comments what city you're watching me from. Today is going to be an amazing show because I'm going to be talking to you about holding companies and tax strategies. Two of the most important things that you need to learn, two of the most important things that you need to get extremely good at, especially if you plan on becoming financially free, becoming a millionaire, building wealth, and having a legacy for you and your family. You got to learn these two things, and you got to get real good at these two things: holding companies and tax strategies. So again, hit the like button, hit the share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody, and let them know your boy Ramonepreston, my squad, and the Ramonepreston Show. We are live today on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Just in case you don't know, let me pause and say, welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. I'm your host, Ramonepreston. And every Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time, I show up on this show to share information with you that I know can be used to help you start, structure, and scale your business, maybe a ministry, your income streams, and your wealth building dreams. All the information that I share on this show is a real reflection of who I am. It's what I live by. And it's what we provide for our clients and our students, whether it's through our consulting division, our coaching division, or our training and educational division. We have consulting services. We've got an amazing one-year business coaching program called the Millionaire Mentorship Program. We also have an amazing business and financial online training program called the Millionaire Blueprint. So we provide a lot of world-class information and training and strategies and solutions to help people really build successful business. We help you start them by showing you how to file and form your paperwork for your holding companies, how to build your holding companies out, how to run the day-to-day operations of your holding company. That's a whole nother world. We also share with you and show you creative tax strategies on how to minimize your taxes, maximize your profitability, and how to really build a successful, sustainable business. We show you how to integrate the right systems and processes into your business, and we get into all the little sophisticated stuff as well so that you can be a legitimate business owner. So everything that I share on this show, I just want you to know it's legitimate. It's information that's changing so many people's lives, and I wanted to change your life today. And so here's what I want you to do. Before I get into this discussion about holding companies and tax strategies, here's what I want you to do. Okay, are you with me? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and make a decision to lean in to what you know God has given you to do. Has God given you an income dream? Has God given you some business idea? Do you believe that you're supposed to be successful? Do you believe that you should be living financially free? Do you believe that there's something inside of you that can be packaged in the form of some type of company or organization that can change a lot of people's lives? If so, guess what? I want you to just go ahead and make the decision to lean in today. And what that means is I want you to accept the fact that there's a reason why you and I are connected today. There's a reason why you're listening to me today, because there's something you are attracting yourself to when it comes to your personal, your professional, and your financial success. I want you to win. I want you to succeed. I want you to do it with grace, with class, and with ease. But you have to be willing to make the decision to lean in and to take the information that I share with you and use it. So I'm going to extend a awesome offer to you at the end of today's show, and I want you to accept that offer. I want you to take me up on that offer. I don't want you to just keep watching me every day and you never pull the trigger. You never lean all the way in and say, you know what, Ramon, I've heard enough to make a decision to be a part of what you're doing. I've seen enough to make a decision to join one of your programs so that I can take my business and my finances to the next level. And again, if you have family members, friends, associates, colleagues, if you have people that you work with and you know they need this information, this is the time to hit the like button, to share, and to tag them in the comments so that they can join us today on the show. Sometimes people can't believe it until they hear it and see it. As a matter of fact, I ain't gonna preach to you, but I'm gonna preach anyway. The Bible says faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So our faith comes by hearing. If you want faith in anything, you have to be able to hear and comprehend and really see and experience something in that area. And so once you hear it, once you comprehend it, once you see it and experience it, your faith grows. And that's what I'm doing today. I want to build your faith up for what you know you want to accomplish in your business and in your finances. My whole objective with what I do through my business, through my consulting, through my coaching, and through my education and training, my whole objective is to create millionaires, period. That's what my objective is. And even if you don't want to be a millionaire, or you don't feel like you need to be a millionaire, well, if you at least adopt the mentality of that and you gravitate towards the information and the principles and the concepts that I teach, you will at least be a solid, strong six-figure earner, even if you don't want to be a millionaire. But most likely you want to be a millionaire. You probably want to be a multimillionaire. Maybe like me, you want to be a billionaire. But I'm telling you, it's going to take the right infrastructure. It's going to take systems, processes, principles, practices. It's going to take a whole lot of stuff. The most important things it's going to take, which are two I'm talking about today, it's going to take you having a good understanding of holding companies and tax strategy. So I'm going to be talking about both of them today and showing you why these are two of the most important things that you got to learn. These are two of the most important things that you have to get extremely good at, probably great at, if you want to excel. Okay, I have a lot of clients, a lot of students who are a part of my training programs and my coaching programs that are learning these principles. They're learning how to run holding companies. They're learning how to use it to build their business infrastructures. They're learning how to use it to increase and expand their enterprise value. But that's a learning curve. It's something that you got to inform yourself on, and it's something that you got to build a muscle for. They're also learning creative tax strategies. I always say this, and I'm going to say it today, and I want you to really hear this. Once you start making money on any level, your next problem is going to be your tax problem. So that means if you're a W-2 employee, if you're making $8 an hour, you still got a tax problem. If you a 1099 independent contractor, you still got a tax problem. If you are a minister or a business owner or a freelancer or whatever it is that you are, you still got a tax problem. And even if you don't know you got a tax problem, or if you are unaware and in the mindset of avoiding it, you still got a tax problem. So the sooner you can fix the problem, the better off you're going to be. So let's talk about holding companies and tax strategies. So I know I talk a lot about holding companies, and the reason why I talk a lot about holding companies is because holding companies are really some of the best vehicles that you can use to implement and execute your tax strategies. And now there's some people who are going to tell you, listen, you don't need that at the beginning of your business. You don't really need to be focusing on that if you just getting your business started. Well, first of all, that's their opinion. So just because they have an opinion doesn't mean they're right. And even if they're right, it doesn't mean it is right for you. So that's why you have to accept that, okay, if this guy is telling me stuff that I know is working for him, and it's obvious, because a lot of people that be telling me all this stuff, other people telling them that it ain't right, it ain't the correct way to do it, you should wait, blah, 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 blah. They're getting this information from people who ain't even as successful as I am. They haven't even gotten as far down the road as I have. So it's very hard for me to believe somebody who hadn't even done what I've done to get to where I am, and they way back there in the beginning stages of doing business or building something successful, and they trying to give us advice on how to do what we're doing far up the road. So I just wanted to let you know that you got to just get rid of all these other perspectives and opinions and views that people give you on the world of the internet who don't really know what they talking about. So what I'm telling you is, when you have a holding company, you can use that holding company to better implement and execute your tax strategies. So again, it doesn't matter what type of business you're in. I'm gonna make this real simple. It doesn't matter what type of business you're in. Any business that you're in, that you're providing a product or you're selling a service, either or both. So if you have products that you provide, if you have services that you provide, if you have both that you provide in the marketplace, whatever it is that you're doing, that is considered to be more of an operation. Okay? That's an operation. That's a business operation. So what that means is, if you build a business around your products and you build a business around your services and you give that business a name and you go out into the world of the internet and you start marketing and getting flyers and landing pages and building websites, what you are representing is a business operation, or for the purpose of the infrastructure to be understood, you are promoting and pushing and building and developing an operational entity. It's an operational entity. So an operational entity is different from a holding company. A holding company is a business entity because most of your holding companies are going to be LLCs. They're the easiest and most, they're the easiest, they're the most flexible. So most holding companies, excuse me, are going to be LLCs, okay? But this is not going to be an operational entity. This is going to be an entity that you use to hold ownership interests of other companies and to hold other assets. This is powerful, and I'm not even talking about the tax strategy part yet, but I just want to focus on the holding company part. So again, you have an operational entity, or I'm gonna just put it, operational company. So this is an LLC that you have, right? So this LLC this is the business that you're using to go sell your products. This is the business that you use to provide whatever services you provide. So if you're the landscaper, if you sell apparel, if you sell accessories, if you do hair and nails, or if you're doing real estate, or whatever the products and services are that you're providing, you're going to provide those services typically through your operational company. So instead of just starting this company alone and making this company your top company, you're going to start this company, but you're also going to start a holding company so that your holding company can own this operational company. One of the reasons for this, among many reasons, I've got an entire course that I teach multiple things that show you having a holding company and this type of structure is important. So you do it for protection. This is asset protection. you're doing it for preservation. You're doing it for purchasing power. You're doing it to be able to produce different products and services and businesses better. So there's so many different reasons why you want this. But one of the most important reasons why you want this type of infrastructure built with your holding company, LLC. And let me just flesh that out a little better, because I can't draw, but I want to try to make it as clear as I can. Holding company, LLC. So we're going to put that right here. You want your holding company. Then, let's say if you got an operational company, we're just going to abbreviate it, operational entity right here. Or I'll just use C to create some consistency, operational company. So this is where you're selling your apparel, or you can have an operational company where you're doing real estate, or you can have an operational entity where you're doing, and this real estate could be Airbnb or whatever you're doing. This company could be a company that you are providing some other product. I'm gonna put P&S, products and services. So whether it's one entity or whether it's 3 different entities, just having a infrastructure set up that looks like that is going to give you the protection. Of course, is giving you protection, because whatever you're doing in these individual companies, the other companies are not going to be liable. So that means if you have certain assets that you're using within these companies don't have to own those assets. So let's say, for example, if you have certain copyrights or trademarks or logos or branding that you're using, or let's say if it's certain intellectual property on how you do the things you do, you don't have to let your operating company own those things. Your holding company can be the one that owns those things, just like mine. My holding company owns my copyrights. My holding company owns my intellectual property. My holding company owns my trademarks. My holding company owns a lot of the equipment and things that maybe operating companies need to use, but I would prefer for my holding company to just either lease it to it. You get what I'm saying? So now I'm always keeping my assets separate and protected. But one of the biggest advantages, which is why we're having this conversation today, one of the biggest advantages is because of your tax strategies. Like I'm not going to say you can't be a millionaire. I'm not going to say you can't become a millionaire without using this. I'm going to say becoming a millionaire using this gets much easier, because there are some people who are making a lot of money, but they're paying a lot of taxes because they don't have the infrastructure set up to mitigate or minimize and sometimes eliminate that liability, because they don't have this type of setup. So most people, instead of them having this type of setup, here's what they do. Because this setup can put you at the top right here. So you're at the top of this company, you're managing this company, and this company is managing those companies. This is why I talk a lot about asset management, because this is what you're becoming. You're becoming an asset manager when you're at the top of that mountain. Most people, this is how they do their businesses. They start a business here. It may be a LLC. And then they start doing business. And then all of a sudden they get another bright idea. And then they say, oh, you know what? This is another business. So they come over here and they say, well, I'm going to start me another LLC. And this is 2 businesses that I have. And then a year or 2 later, they get another bright idea and they start another LLC. And now they own 3 different LLCs, which means they're not set up like this where they could be passed through up to this one. Now they're all coming up to this person who owns 3, as opposed to you owning 1 and your one owning 3. This is the game. Am I making sense to you? Does this make sense? And if you were being educated on this every day, do you think you would understand this better and more? Do you think if you understood this better and more that your business decisions will be different? Of course they will be, because you're already setting yourself up for success. You're already setting yourself up for the future increase that you're going to see in your revenue. And sometimes, depending on what type of operations that you want to engage in, sometimes it may not even require you at the starting point to have all these entities. Sometimes you could get away with just creating divisions right here within your holding company ecosystem and just use them for research and development until they become legitimate business entities. So these are the types of concepts that I teach and that I work with my clients with, so that you can build something that doesn't have to change. Because if for some reason one of these operational entities goes south, or just in case they don't make any money, they don't profit, and you don't want it no more, well, if you scrap this because this is no longer working, it doesn't affect that. But when this is your main business, all of a sudden, if you scrap this, now you're affected, because this is all you, and you don't want that type of setup. When you have this type of setup, now all of a sudden, these businesses can be built under a parent organization that you can use to brand yourself effectively. And this is one of the first questions that I ask my clients, especially the ones that I consult and coach. One of the first questions I ask them is, do you want to build a brand? Do you want to be that massively successful? Because if you do, you can't create a holding company and you create this holding company in a way that you want to be hidden. You want anonymity. That's what they call it, anonymity. You want to be anonymous. Well, that's going to be a problem if you're trying to become anonymous, but you want to build a brand. So you have to decide what you want. But all these things you have to flesh through at the infrastructure stage, so that once this infrastructure is built, and if this is built the right way, where you've built your brand into it, you've built your marketing and your sales into it, it becomes powerful, because now it makes it easier for these divisions or these subsidiaries or operating entities. It makes it easier for them to get recognized and get attention in the marketplace, because they're all part of a conglomerate. They're all part of a brand. They're all part of a business ecosystem. The same thing I do for my organizational enterprise, I teach it and work with my clients to do it, because I know it works. It took me a long time to figure these concepts out and to put them together in a way that it worked and that it could actually expand my enterprise value. And I want that for you, because now all of a sudden when these companies, let's move that for a moment. Now all of a sudden when these companies, or even if it's just one LLC, once these companies start making money, okay, so let's just say you're just getting started, all right? And so you start the holding company. We're going to start our holding company. So this is you. If you're just getting started, or if you're starting over and we need to just do everything fresh for you, we're going to put you at the top of the mountain. We're going to make sure that this mountaintop entity is a holding company. This is what we're going to do for you. And literally, this is what I'm going to do for you when you reach out to me today and we start the process of educating you and training you. So you got to just move all the excuses. You got to stop overanalyzing. You got to stop getting paralyzed by analysis, paralysis of analysis, because this is what we're going to do. So no matter what you got going on over here, you could be over here and you could have LLCs. You could have 2 LLCs or 20 over here, and you own all of them. We're going to scrap that, because that's not the way it needs to be. Now we're going to scrap that either by dissolving them, or you just transferring the ownership over here. But in any event, we want you to have a holding company, and we want this company to be your legacy company. We want this company to represent your legacy. So we want to walk you through each stage of what you should name it and how you should establish it and what it should represent so that your brand can be built into it. And now we have you at this level of your infrastructure. You're standing at the top of the mountain. You have a holding company LLC. Now I will assess to see if you do need other LLCs initially, because sometimes you don't. Sometimes you could just operate with divisions right here. This could just be a division temporarily until it creates a life. So for example, if you're in the coaching space or the consulting or the educational space, if you're in that kind of space, those services are not really volatile services. It's not like real estate or construction or cleaning services. Those are the types of business operations that need to be separate. Some things don't necessarily need to be separate. You could just have some insurance and run them through your holding company temporarily until they get a life of their own. So either way, either today they could be divisions, or if not, you just create subsidiaries. And so this would be another LLC. This is actually LLC number 2, because this is LLC number 1. Now, once LLC number 1 starts making money, it is controlled by LLC number 2. And this is where all of your tax strategies start coming into play. This is going to be your biggest issue. This is going to be your biggest issue. And if you're watching me, if you're someone who's watching me right now and you don't have this type of infrastructure, but you're making money, I guarantee you don't like the way you're paying taxes. You're probably unhappy. You're probably aggravated. Like, I got clients who just sick to their stomach because of how those tax implications affect them. But once they put these types of infrastructures together, let's say if this company starts making money, well, now this company can start having deductions and write-offs. And this company is owned by another company and controlled by another company that can actually decide where that free cash flow goes and how it is reallocated or redistributed into other investments or expenses or non-taxable events that could actually lower the overall tax liability up to the top. So these are a lot of like sophisticated tax strategies that really work best when you have a holding company and you have this concept that you're using for your business operation. So I would love to get questions from you. I would love to hear what your biggest takeaway is. And if you don't have your business infrastructure set up like this, again, as I told you, I need you to just reach out to me today. You can't keep putting this on hold. You can't keep thinking you're gonna just do the same thing every day. You're gonna hear a little bit of information from Ramonepreston and from other people, and you somehow gonna put all the pieces together. It don't work like that. Some of these concepts are so sophisticated, they require a lot of understanding. They require a lot of implementation and execution and monitoring so that you're doing it the right way. And this is one of the reasons why when it comes to holding companies and tax strategies, I like to educate people on as much as I can, because I want you to become as familiar as you possibly can. So I want you to have a holding company. That's the ultimate goal, for you to have a holding company. The goal is for you to have divisions that you're actually using to make money through your holding company. The goal is for you to have operating companies that are owned by your holding company. The goal is for you to have the right systems and processes built into or integrated into your holding company, so that once you integrate the right systems and processes in your holding company, you're just repeating in your divisions, you're repeating in your operating companies, and one of the most important systems and processes you're going to have is going to be your financial system and your financial process. And what that means is you are simply going to get as good and really great as you can using QuickBooks or software like QuickBooks. You're going to get real good at familiarizing yourself with business deductions and write-offs. You're going to get real good at not just tracking your income and expenses on a day-to-day basis, but you're going to get good at forecasting out into the future so that you can actually see what your potential tax liability would be, and you're able to make a decision today. Like, for example, coming into the month of September, I work with my CPA and tax strategist and his team. I work with my team, people that I have working with me in-house, and we make sure when we get around to September, we start forecasting into the new year. We start that now. And what we start doing is we start, of course, looking back, tracing what we've done up to now. We look at what we're doing today. This is past tracing, this is current tracking, and then we do future forecasting so that we can figure out creative ways to lower the overall bill. But a lot of this is going to happen in that financial system and in that financial process. And this is where your tax strategies are going to play heavily on having this type of infrastructure. So now, when we see what our potential tax bill could be if we did our taxes, we can decide how much free cash flow do we have, how much cash reserves do we have, and what exactly can we do. Because a lot of times you don't just keep buying stuff just to not pay taxes. A lot of times you start investing. But when you're building your business, you can use a lot of that money to build your business out. You want to build it. So that means you want to invest in coaches. Okay, that's a write-off for you. You want to invest in education. That's a write-off for you. So like literally, I like to tell people this. When you are doing the math on your business expenses or your operational expenses, when you start doing the math on it, don't just do the math on utilities and all this other stuff that you got to pay for, gas and home office and equipment and materials and office supplies. You need to add to your operational expenses having a coach, having consultants and professionals on a retainer so that you can call. I call this in one of my courses, I call it having a credibility kit. You need a credibility kit, and that credibility kit is really you having a list of people who represent every area of your business. So this could be a business and financial coach like me. This could be a CPA, that's accounting, that's taxes. It could be an attorney, it could be trademark attorney, it could be licensing attorneys, it could be business attorneys, real estate attorneys, it could be a real estate agent, it could be a banker. All of these people make up your credibility kit. But one of those people needs to be somebody like me. You got to have somebody like this in your ear and who has the information to direct you to, because that's what I do. So if you're joining my online training program, I can direct you to the courses that you need the most so that you can start educating yourself. So let's say, for example, if you don't really know a lot about holding companies, but you know it's what you're supposed to do. And you don't know a lot about tax strategies, but you know that's something you're supposed to do, and you're making money, but you don't really know how to bring all that together. Well, I'm gonna direct you to those 2 or 3 courses to start training on so that we can get you educated and get you up to a standard so that you can start functioning better with your holding company, with your business systems, and with your tax strategies. If you're in my coaching program, I'm going to do the same thing with our training because that comes with your coaching, but I'm going to have a sit down with you initially so that we can flesh out what you're doing and make sure that it's put together the right way. If I'm consulting you, if it's just a one and done consulting project that we have, we're going to do that until you execute it. So I want you to reach out to me today. You know what you're hearing is stuff that you know like is going to change the dynamics of your life. This is a part of you investing into you. So it's not like you spending money just to spend money. You're actually investing into your future, into your legacy, for you, for your family, and for the people you're called to serve. So I want you to reach out to me today. All you have to do is text what you're going to be hanging around me. You hang around me long enough, this is what you're going to be. You're going to be a millionaire. So I want you to text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. That's what I want you to do. I want you to text the word milli to that number right there. Text millionaire. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few minutes over the phone to see exactly where you are with your business, with your finances, where you want to go, and what programs that we have that can best fit you to help you get there based on the time that you need to get there. Because if you want to get there quicker, you need coaching. You need coaching. I have many programs. I have signature programs. I have a coaching program for 1 year. I have a training online, 100% online program for 1 year. Both of those programs can give you all the information and tools on becoming a millionaire and how to build these types of infrastructures out and use these principles and concepts. But I have other premium programs. We have a certification program for people who want to be coaches and need to learn how to coach. We train you on that. We have a program called the Business Incubator, and this program is a consulting program. So not only do we provide the information for you, we actually work with you. So it's more of a done with you program where we get down into the nuts and bolts and help you integrate these systems, configure them to fit your business. And we have sessions throughout a year in that program to make sure that everything is working and functioning correctly. We also have a licensing program. So we have a lot of programs, but our most popular programs are, of course, our Millionaire Mentorship program, a 1-year coaching, because that's where a lot of people are. You're just figuring things out. You need more information. You need training. You need time to familiarize yourself with it. And while you're learning and training and developing, you need to have the opportunity to start making money and build a solid system. So I want you to reach out to me. Text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. I appreciate all of you for watching the show. Thank you, because I feel like today was for you. Today was for you. This was the day that you just needed to hear me loud and clear so that you can make the right decision. And I know you've seen enough. I know you've heard enough to make that right decision. So the right decision is to text millionaire to 404-478-7213. I know sometimes it can be nerve-wracking. Sometimes you can feel uncomfortable about it. You get those pits in your stomach because you're just unsure. But we work with you on that. We're going to make sure that you're not uncertain, that you don't like fall off the deep end. We want to make sure that we keep you on track. And that's really what our coaching program is about. You really need a coach. Even though I'm coaching you from my online courses, but when you want to work with me and my team personally, and you need that hands-on lift and support to get further up that road quicker, that coaching program. But we could talk to you about it to see where you need to start and where we need to get you plugged in. And all of this can happen in a matter of minutes. You can text millionaire to that number right now. We'll reach back out to you, and within minutes we could get you onboarded, training on these courses, in these programs, moving you to your success. So I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for joining the show today. Please be sure to put in the comments what your biggest takeaway was. What was your biggest takeaway from today's show? What was the thing that made you, oh my God, that's it? I would love to know that. Put it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page. We want to get to 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible, but I need your subscriptions. I need you to be sharing our videos and letting other people know you gotta go to Ramonepreston's YouTube page. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, please be sure to follow me. I'm everywhere on all platforms at Ramonepreston. So have an amazing Friday. Have an amazing weekend. Please take that number, text me If you don't want to text, call. We're here waiting to hear from you so that we can help you get to your next level. Appreciate you all. I'll see you Monday, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Ramon